Hello, everyone. I'm Megan. Welcome back to day 3 of our challenge. Technically, I guess it's day 4 because we had our co-working session on Thursday. So thank you to everyone who had the opportunity to drop in on Thursday. And it was great to be able to chat and work together to get everything implemented from the first week of the challenge. If you're just joining us or new to the channel, my name's Megan, and I am the founder of Florentis Learning. Florentis Learning offers more than 750 lessons that are ready to use and interactive for you to use in your classroom when you are teaching. These include core curriculum, speaking, writing, phonics, and much, much more, grammar lessons. So definitely something to check out. If you are here, just drop your comment in the chat box and let me know that you're here. I always like to know who's here so that I can help. And if you have any questions at all, then drop those in the chat box as well. So today in our From Scrambling to Structured challenge, we are going to focus on professional systems that will save you time. And really the whole challenge has been about saving you time and making things easier for you. And so with that, I am going to share my screen, and similar to the other sessions, we will have a little bit of time to sort of talk about some of the things that we're going to do, and then we're going to have a demo as well. And so today we're going to focus on reoccurring bookings and your parent report. And so today is really about those external facing tools that are going to really help your help you in the classroom, but also help parents. And so today we're going to look again at that student workflow. So managing each learner from booking through lesson, and then how your lessons will flow from one session to the next. So last session, we looked at adding students to our teacher hub, and we also looked at assigning the first lesson. So if any of you have had a chance to try out that Start Next Lesson button, you will have figured out that lesson continuity already. It automatically flows for you into the next lesson, making it super easy for you to know exactly where you are and exactly what you're supposed to be teaching next. If you haven't had an opportunity to join the challenge and you want to, by all means, it's not too late. You can join us here at florentislearning.ca/organized online ESL teacher challenge. And there are hyphens in that. So feel free to join, and you will get access to the challenge dashboard, and you will get your welcome email, and you can jump right in, and it's never too late to catch up. So happy to help you if you need help catching up. So we also are going to look at some reusable templates that are available to us, and we are going to look at how we can communicate with the parents on a regular basis. So today we're really taking that first step and making it easier for parents to always know what's happening, so that you will spend less time answering questions and more time teaching. So parents, it's easy to keep parents. It's also easy to lose parents. Most parent questions don't come from dissatisfaction with your teaching or with your materials or with any of those things. They really come from uncertainty. So when parents feel out of the loop, they start to worry, and worried parents can ask lots of questions. So if there is no visible booking confirmation, it means the parents might lose track of the schedule. If they're unclear about how many lessons are left in their package, that creates anxiety around value and renewals. And if they aren't really sure what their child is learning, then that creates that anxiety about, well, what are they doing? What are they learning? Are they even learning? And they do want to stay involved, so they want to have this visibility about what happened last class. And in order to do that, we need to make those things easily visible for them. They can't be hard for them to find. They can't take a lot of time. They just have to be easy and simple. And so if you have now joined, by all means, drop a note in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. What questions from this list do you get from your parents? I know I had one just last week. I'm going through a number of renewals with students right now, and most of them have been really simple, but I had one parent who's like, well, I don't really know if my child has improved during the last session. And I was able to pull up their parent report and say, well, here, this is where we were, right? These are the things they've learned. And then the sort of the thing that really helped was the system also, because it happened to finish a unit when we finished their package. It might have been planned that was the way, but anyway, they finished a unit, and within the system, their child received a certificate. So then all of a sudden it was like, oh, wow, I've got this unit certificate. The child was happy. The parent was happy. And about 2 minutes later, I had a notification that they had renewed their package and paid their bill. So today's goal really is about, trying to solve these things. And so what are your parents' concerns? What sort of questions do you get when you are talking to parents? So today we want to look at this sort of interconnected system. So this is our reoccurring bookings, where we're going to have less back and forth, fewer last minute messages, this predictable schedule. We're going to have parent report visibility. And so where is the parent report? How do they know what's coming next? So we'll take a look at that. And then we are going to look at sort of that, all of those things leading into that smoother communication. And just that more professional impression right from day one. You will find that when you start to use more professional systems, when you create this transparency, then the parents are going to have fewer questions, and they're going to trust you as a teacher to use your professional judgment and make your decisions and know that they're in the best interest of their child. So let's take a look now at how this works in the Teacher Hub. And so we're going to look at sort of that reoccurring booking, that visibility of the next lesson, the parent report access, and then sort of giving you the end result of being confident and ready. So with that, I'm just going to change, and I am going to share my this is just my test site. It is my staging site. It is not real data. So these are our fake students. And I am going to just navigate to my Teacher Hub. And you will see I've got a few things just because we've been playing around with this and it is just a test site. So I'm just going to dismiss these. And I'm going to come over to my student tab. And so you'll remember from the last session, we had actually created the student Anaconda, and I think we actually added Lollipop as well. And then I have Marshmallow and Smart Test. So these are all test students. None of them are real. We just have these test students. So with that, let's take a look at sort of the first thing that we want to do. And the first thing we want to do is we want to look at our parent report settings. So we want to get those all set up, ready to go. So that's not the one I want. I want to go to here, and I want to go to this one. Yeah. All right. So I just made it bigger, and I'm just going to show you right here. We've got our tabs across the top. So our setup tab and our parent report settings. So the parent report settings is where we're going to start today. And you're just going to go in and you are going to put in your name and your email address. Obviously, this is not correct. This is just a test email at gmail.com. Very much not correct. You're going to choose your messaging. There's lots of options you can choose from. And all of those things happen down here. So what you're doing is you're typing in your information down here, and it will appear up here, and you'll be able to see what it will look like on the parent report. Now, one of the things you'll notice is that I do have my image here. And for the images, and we'll do this, I can help everyone with it in co-working, but for the image, all you need to do is go to your Gravatar. And for people who aren't familiar with that, you're going to go to gravatar.com. And what you need to do is you need to log in with your the same email as you use on the Teacher Hub, so on Florentis Learning. By doing that, what you will do is you will be able to put your picture in there, and then WordPress will automatically pull that picture in. And so that's where my image has come from, is actually from my Gravatar profile. So super simple. Then it sizes it correctly. You don't end up with this weird stretched head that's too tall or too short. So if you haven't used Gravatar, you will find you'll just have to click, it's free, and you just click get started now, and away you go. So once you've updated all of this information, and as I said, there's lots of messaging platforms. So if you use WhatsApp, or if you use Facebook Messenger, or whatever, Line, Telegram, then you can put that in, and you can put your messaging handle in. So I don't have one in there because I just sort of hid it for this purpose, but you will add yours, and then you'll hit save. So now your parent report settings are saved. So let's see sort of what that looks like. I'm going to come back over here, and Anaconda is the student we were working with the other day. And under Anaconda and under all of the students, you'll notice you have a parent link. So I'm just going to click on that. And I'm going to show us. So you'll notice now we have our information at the top. We have the student's name, and this was actually a feedback note that we recorded in the last session. So you'll see what the parents look like, and you can see. So one of the things that I said was that we were going to have a bit more transparency with our parents. So in terms of sort of what's happening on this screen, under the recent lesson feedback, you'll see that the next lesson is here. There's a link to preview the lesson. So there is actually a lesson preview. There are links for flashcards, homework, and the game. These are links that are provided that go with the core curriculum. If you're using the Teacher Hub for just your own lessons, then you won't have these links automatically added for you. But if you are choosing to use the Florentis Learning curriculum, you will get to see all of those things. And from there, we have just the notes. So you can see very quickly, this is the parent link. You will just copy the link from your URL bar up at top. That is a unique link for the parent, and you're going to send it to them, whether it's in WeChat or Messenger, or however, or by email, however you send that. And anytime they go to this link, it will be current with all of their child's actual lessons. So that is the parent report. So now we're going to come back to our Teacher Hub. And we've already addressed the question of the parent report settings, and then what that looks like for the parent. And the next thing that we want to do is we want to just look at our booking setup. So we're going to come to our setup tab, and you're going to come down and choose manual reoccurring scheduler. If you don't see that, then you will need to come up to the little settings wheel up here at the top, and you'll need to turn it on. Okay. So you just come down and choose your lesson scheduling mode, manual reoccurring scheduler, and save settings. Now this is not something that the parents can book. This works really well, especially if you have sessions that are always at the same time every week. Now you will notice that there is a booking calendar link, so you can put your link in there, and that's what feeds the book a lesson button. So if you have a booking calendar, you can do that. But this is sort of nice if you have lessons that occur at the same time every week. It's super quick and easy. You also can put in choose your time zone, and that will make sure that what you see is then in your time zone. And you'll remember the other day when we added our student, we actually did also choose the student time zone so that the students will actually see the time on their parent report in their time zone. And then there's different meeting links here. So you can put your meeting link in there if you use sort of the same meeting link all of the time. If you don't, you can leave that blank and you can just simply add that when you create your booking. So once you've done that, you have two ways to do this. One, we can go to Anaconda's name. And remember from the other day, this takes us to her student profile. And you'll notice that we have an upcoming lessons section that has no lessons booked. And we can just create a one-off lesson or a reoccurring schedule. So we're going to create a reoccurring schedule for Anaconda. And Anaconda is going to be doing she's doing level 2, so you can call it whatever you want. You can call it by the unit. You can call it based on your package, sort of whatever you want. I'm going to call this level 2, and I'm going to call it units 1, 2, 3. And Anaconda is going to have lessons every day. I'm actually going to make them on Mondays, and I'm going to make them start today at 1:30 p.m. Atlantic time, because I'm in Atlantic time. And that way we'll be able to actually see what this looks like. So this is just my test site. These are fake students. This is fake information, but it gives you an idea. Now under here you have an end condition, so it can have a no fixed end date where it just continues until you delete it. But I do recommend putting in either an end date or the number of lessons, and you can always go in and add more lessons if you need to. So in this particular package, we are going to have 20 lessons. And I use Tencent meetings, so I'm going to just choose VOOV, and I'm going to save my schedule. You can put a note in here if you need to, but I'm just going to hit save. And all of a sudden, we'll just give it a second, you will now notice the next lesson is today at 1:30 p.m. Atlantic time. And if I expand it, you'll see I've got the lessons here, and I can view more that we just created. Okay. If you need to change one of these lessons, it is from your student profile that you will do that. Let's go back to the Teacher Hub now. And on the Teacher Hub, you will see on your Today tab, here's our lesson for Anaconda. We can enter the classroom. That will open your VOOV link. You can start the next lesson because we already know what the next lesson is for Anna. And we also have our feedback button. I also can check out my bookings tab, and now you will notice that Anaconda has lessons. This is my 7-day view on Mondays. Over here, you can look at it as a month view, and you'll notice we have Anaconda is in here every day on Mondays, or we can look at all lessons, which gives us this view here. So I do sort of like the 7-day view, and you will find that that is your default. But it is there, you can quickly see it. But most of the time, I just use my Today tab. So let's sort of recap what we've done. We've set up our parent report settings, and we know how to get our parent report link that we will share with parents. Secondly, we've gone to our setup tab and we've activated our manual lesson scheduler. And third, we have added a reoccurring booking for 12 lessons for Anaconda on Mondays at 1:30 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. So each Monday, this will appear and I will be able to start my next lesson and go from there. Now, I do want to just show you what the parent report looks like now, because it also is going to be transparent with that communication information. So if we go to our parent link and click that again, and we jump back over, I'm going to share that, to the parent report, you will see still my fake information, my student Anaconda, and you'll notice here, these are the upcoming lessons. But one of the things that you'll notice is it is not actually at the same time. It is at a different time because they are in a different time zone. And so it shows the student time first, and the teacher time is just sort of in little letters. They still have that join lesson button, and it is reoccurring, and they can show their 10 more lessons. So they can see all of their lessons here that they have booked right through until July 7th. So that is that. Now, I'm going to come back to this one, and we're going to share this instead. And how do I get me back? Let's see. Let's put you over here, maybe. Yes, there we go. And I can stop sharing this. All right. So let's just take now a quick look at sort of what we said we were going to do and what we've done. So I indicated today we were going to run through reoccurring bookings, making that next lesson visible, which is right on the parent report. The parent report access, so that's sharing your parent link, and your upcoming lesson confidence. You're prepared, you're ready, you just click your buttons and all is set, ready to go. So this does save you time, right? You don't need to answer questions now about when is the next class, what did they do last class, is there homework, what should we do to prepare? All of that is there on the parent report already. This reduces your back and forth with parents and actually allows you to spend more time teaching. So this is sort of my tip of the session, and here's just a little note you can send after you do this. I've organized Anaconda's upcoming lessons in progress inside your parent report so you can easily follow along between lessons, and then you can drop your link in and they have access. So this is just one quick short message, but it does feel powerful. It feels a little bit premium. They like this higher level of professionalism. It does build transparency for the parent, and it also supports renewals. And it will also drive referrals, because when parents trust you, they are more likely to recommend you to their friends who are also looking for teachers. So you don't need a complex system to organize your teaching business. You really just need one rule applied consistently across every student on your roster. So next lesson booked, every student has a confirmed upcoming booking. You don't have a guess. You don't have, there's no gaps. You're not guessing. You share that parent report link and the parent knows how to use it. And then the next lesson, of course, is clearly visible and displayed for both parent and teacher. I did mention that you could use the Teacher Hub to record non-Florentis lessons as well. And in some cases, I use materials that are Florentis materials, but I might throw in an extra game, or maybe we're doing an extra review or something like that. And if I spend my whole lesson just on that, then I actually use the non-Florentis lesson button, and I will put a note in there about what my next lesson is. And it does give me the opportunity to manually override and assign the next lesson. So in that case, you'll have to use your manual override. So when parents know what's next, they feel calm, and calm parents renew. And this really is the most important business truth in online teaching. We want the parents to trust us. We want to communicate with them, and we want them to know that we are trustworthy and transparent. So in terms of what you're going to do now, we have co-working, of course, on Thursday, and we have another live session on Wednesday. But before our live session Wednesday, I'd like you to go back into your Teacher Hub and try and set up a booking for one of your students. If it is your demo student that is your fake student, that's fine too. It doesn't have to be a real student. If it's a real student, all the better. And then if it is a real student, then share your parent report link with them with a nice warm message, and you can use the one that I gave you if you wish. And then just confirm that your upcoming class appears on your parent report view. If you are ready to stretch that, you're comfortable with it, and you've got more than one student set up, then you can try either adding a couple new students and going through your process, or you can set that up for the 3 students you have in the portal. You are going to begin to notice this instantly. I know when I first started using the Today tab on my session and set up everything, I rely on it so much every morning. I open my computer, I go to that Today tab. That's where I launch all my lessons from. I really don't go and look at any notes. Everything is there ready for me to go. So that is today's session. And hopefully that was helpful, and hopefully everyone's really excited to go and set up that Today tab with your booking links on the Teacher Hub. I look forward to seeing everyone back on a Wednesday for our next live session. And if you have any questions, by all means, send me an email or drop a note here in the chat, or reach out on Facebook. However you want to communicate is great. And otherwise, I will see you all on Wednesday, same time, same place. The link is on your challenge dashboard, And the replay from the sessions last week are also on your challenge dashboard if you missed them. So have a great Wednesday. No, not Wednesday. Monday. Have a fantastic Monday, and we'll see you all next